If you've watched the Class Heroes James Blake's Dilemma film, you may have wondered how Luther Lucas, playing James, managed to run past himself in the hospital corridor. Well, this little featurette will show you exactly how we did it. Let's take a look at the actual scene. While on screen it only fills a couple of seconds, the actual setup time on the location was considerable. And here it is. Actor Luther Lucas looks on while actor Luther Lucas runs past himself. Okay, so let's take a look at how we actually did it. I used the Adobe Production Studio to make this film, and I used After Effects to do the special effects. Now, there was a lot of green screen work in this scene, but I'm not going to go into the exact green screen settings that I use in After Effects. And the reason why is that there's a million tutorials out there on the internet. And in fact, if you are looking for some good tutorials on how to do some incredible special effects, I'd recommend Film Riot on YouTube. I use them quite a bit in making the Class Heroes films. The link's up now, so please do check them out. They're brilliant, really good tutorials. Okay, so what you're looking at here is the composite scene of James and James. And to coin a phrase, it's a scene of two halves. We had the hospital location for one day only, and in the morning we'd filmed a lot of scenes with James when he was dressed in his school uniform, and this was the very last scene that James is wearing his school uniform in. Because straight after he does this scene, he changes into his dressing gown, and we have to prep the scene where he and Sam run past James. And for both scenes, we have to make sure the camera remains in a fixed position. So camera stays exactly where it is while we film the right hand scene, and then straight away we film the left hand scene, don't move the camera whatever happens, and then film James running past the green screen. Now you can see that with the mouse I'm indicating the edge of the green screen where this kind of wall ends. That was my sort of natural divider, and I sort of came to know that as the death zone really, because when I actually came to match up the left and the right sequences so that James could cross from the left to the right, I realised that I'd given myself a big problem. And here you'll see that problem. On the left hand side we have James and Sam, and on the right hand side we've got just James with the left hand background keyed out. And as James and Sam start to run on that left hand side, here we get to the problem where they actually cross into the barrier between the two scenes. When we filmed right hand James's scenes, we should have put a green screen behind him so I could completely lift him out of the background. And when we filmed left hand James and Sam's run, the green screen should have extended around the corner of the corridor so that there's no gap in between the green screens from both shots. So my post-production fix for this problem was to export the footage from After Effects as individual frames, i.e. individual JPEGs, and then in Photoshop I lifted out each character from their backgrounds so that basically all you've got, I think I used the Refine Edge tool and Quick Mask tool to separate them out from their backgrounds, and then I imported them into After Effects as their own sequences, and then put those sequences over the top of the composite shot so that it effectively covers the gap between them running from left scene to right scene. So I didn't intentionally do that let's fix it in posting, but I suppose in reality that's what happened. But that's all part of living and learning, I suppose, and hopefully improving as a filmmaker.